Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at my WIPs, or otherwise known as works in progress. So these are all the projects I've been working on in the background while I've been doing other content. And again, I can't make full-length videos about everything. So these are things that just didn't make the cut. So I thought I'd share those with you today, and I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, so let's get to it.
Let's start off this video with some unexpected mending.
Hello again. I just wanted to do a quick update for anyone who is wondering. So as far as my workouts go, I have been keeping up with them. I am actually on my very last week of the first challenge of 2026 that I am doing from the Chloe Ting workouts. And it's going wonderfully, actually. And again, I just want to check in and let you guys know because it's been a while. Although today it was rather hard to concentrate when I had this little one, cue in picture, staring down at me the entire time. Yes, Cookie did finally learn how to get up on those shelves, and she loves my little basket with my work on blanket. I'll have to send you a picture of her sleeping. It's really cute. First, when I was working out, I noticed that I had a hole in my pants. So that is one of the things I want to do pretty much immediately. Just small little hole on my knee. And this is what I was talking about when I was fixing my pajama pants. Something like this is so much easier to just do it while it's on your body versus taking it off and trying to do it, especially with something stretchy like leggings, which these are. Oh my God. Gee, did you really have to climb on my back to jump over here? Anyway, so something like this, especially stretchy, I feel like it's easier to have it on because you know where you want it to lay on your body. So if you stitch it up when it's pulled to where you want it to be, you don't have to worry as much about it, being too tight or making weird puckers and stuff because you made sure to account for it with it on your body. And here's Chi. So I'm gonna fix that up and then get ready for my day. All right, mending is done. Not my best job, not my worst job, but I think it'll hold up pretty well. I tried not to pucker it, although I did a little bit in some spots, but overall, I just did some going this way, some going that way. Try to make a nice weave, and I also try to distribute it a little bit further than where the hole was, just so the tension was spread out further and not just really close to where it was already frayed and weak. So I tried to give it a little bit much support by going further out than the hole itself. But overall, I think it's good from a distance. I feel like you probably wouldn't even know, really. I mean, it's a little darker, but you would never know what it is. You probably just think it was like a speck of dirt. And I think it should hold up good. It's not quite at the knee, so it's not a super tense spot. It's a little bit lower, so it should be fine structurally.
Now let's take a look at some really cool looking socks. And yes, this is where I realized that I recorded this whole segment without any audio. So here I'm just showing you the sock that I finished making. I love these socks, but they were such a pain in the buttocks to make. And now I have started the second sock. And here I'm explaining how instead of going from the outside and continuing where it was, I decided to go true opposite of this sock and start from the middle because I thought it would look really cool to have complete opposite, light and dark, good versus evil, all that facing off each other in this sock. So that was my ultimate decision that I decided to go with, and I'm hoping that it works out for the best. So now we have some miscellaneous updates.
So I also wanted to give you an update on some of my WIPs that I've been working on for a while now. Let's start off with the socks that I've been working on. All right, so I'm pretty sure I showed you I finished the first one, and the second one now, I have passed the heel. I finished all my decreases, and now I'm working on my foot part. So that one should be getting pretty close to done. Oh my gosh, just blends in like almost perfectly with my couch. I thought there would be a lot more blue in it. I went from the inside, but I didn't know it was going to be gray for so long. I was getting excited in here when it's so hard to read on my couch, when a lot of this blue showed up, but then it started turning back gray again to a lighter gray. And I'm like, okay, so I guess it's not going to be as blue. So they'll be interesting for sure. The matching, they don't really match at all besides that the style that I did them in. They're two very, very different socks, but I think the style is still really, really cool. and I can't wait to finish those up. So I just want to do a progress update on that. Also, yesterday, I got further on my sweater that I've been working on as well. So I still have one sleeve, have not started yet, but the other sleeve is completely done. So that is a nice thing, and I tried it on. It's so comfy. I went for a super, super long rib sleeve at the end, which I am so excited for. I did a split hem on the bottom here as well for more comfort and breezy way at the bottom, but I can't wait for this to be done. I love the colors. They look so good. So I'll be starting the second sleeve soon. I probably would have started yesterday, but for some reason I decided to dismantle my needles that I used to make the sleeves. So now I gotta figure out where I put them and then start that up again. So that is current update of my WIPs. I haven't really touched anything that was in my pile. Oh, I could show you another thing I did yesterday. Hold on. All right, this isn't super exciting looking, but I know I've talked about cleaning cloths a whole bunch. So what I did yesterday was actually go through and I did cut out a while ago a bunch of, actually from my fabric organizing video, there was that one fabric that had like PDF or PFD on it. I wasn't sure what it was, but I decided to cut it up and make it into cleaning cloths. So I did the cutting a bit ago, but I just left it as that. I was like, if I do want to sell them or make some nicer looking ones, I really, really should finish all the edges and stuff with my sewing machine. So that's what I did. I sewed mostly around, left myself a gap, flipped it inside out, and then did a top stitch all the way around. I did also pink the edges as well as I went, so they wouldn't fray on the inside, but keep structural support and everything. So yeah, super, super excited about that. I did start going through my sashiko book because I wanted to try using some other ones that I haven't tried before. I'm specifically looking more for ones that are reversible because I like, especially for these, how it looks on both sides. So I can't wait for that. I will probably make some videos when I go to do this because I have some great ideas in mind, especially some nice gifts that might be great for other people. So yeah, can't wait for that to come in the upcoming months or days or weeks. I'm not really sure. Anyway, but that's an update for my works in progress. Again, haven't touched anything that's in this cubby. I feel like I actually have more in here now than I did before. I did do a little bit on this. I don't remember if I showed that on video or not. Really should finish this because it's like 98% done. And when I went through my jewelry, I did pull these out to make into something. And again, haven't done any of it. I've been really busy just working on the current projects that I have that I'm making videos for. So a lot of the other projects have kind of went to the back burner, but I'm looking forward to trying again and getting more of these things done. And hopefully I'll get more done before my next video on my WIP update. All right. So I'll see you guys next time.
Hello, it's me again. Just reminding you, don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you haven't already. This is the free and easy way to help boost this channel and help it grow. I enjoy doing this content and I would love to continue doing it. Now, if you would like to help out a little more, you can always go and join our Patreon. You can join as little as $1 a month and it'll give you access to our private Discord server. I'm super excited and can't wait to see you guys all there. Today we're going to do a WIP update. I've been working on a few things and I just wanted to let you know how they were going. So let's start with easy ones. Not this necessarily WIP, but this is a project I was working on. So I did make a nice cleaning cloth. It looks gorgeous. I love the colors. I was kind of worried when I did my first row and I ran out of the only one of that color I had. And then when it happened again on the second set of stitches, I wasn't sure, but I kept going and I actually love all the different colors that are in it. And it's reversible, so the other side looks equally as cool, which is awesome. And this was a fun little project and I can't wait for it to either be a gift for someone or to use it for myself. So that was a lot of fun. I will say that the yarn I used for this, not yarn, the floss that I used for this was
not a great floss, and it was rather difficult. It took me forever to do this one because it kept getting like it was I only could pull through like 2 or 3 stitches at a time, which usually with running stitch I can stack like the whole needle full, but I couldn't with this one, which was rather frustrated. It also snagged a couple times, and I lost a couple threads here and there, like one strand of it. So again, frustrating. But I started a new one yesterday using the same pattern because I love the other one so much. Get this out of the way. This one's much lighter. It uses a lime green and a light little pink. And this is the side that's like almost done. Only finished over here. I've only finished those little spots over there. And this one, so much easier. That was literally me yesterday during Easter. I whipped that entire thing up. I didn't start until I was there, and then I just crafted through it while talking to family, and I almost completed the whole thing. So it 100% was just the floss that I was using. That other one was really hard. At first I thought it was the material because I don't know what that PDF material was from my fabric stash clean out, but I was like, oh, it's gotta be the fabric. But no, it turns out it was the floss. All right, and I got one more update for you, my sweater. So I think I showed you guys me finishing the one arm, and I started my second arm, and I was like, okay, we're going good. I'm starting to get low about like here with my mohair. And I was like, I think I can do this. Like, I think it'll have enough. And I'm at the cuff, and I only got to here, but I only have this much left. So I definitely found out, and I had a really large cuff. So I quickly found out that I was going to lose a skim of yarn chicken, and I didn't have any more. Like, that was my last ball of mohair. I don't have any more green left. Like, what I'm using now is the end of it. But as I was making this sweater, I had this idea that I wanted to make a sweatshirt like hoodie pocket for it because I have plenty of the purple, and I think it would be a nice splash of it, like the other color on the front to make it less like all green. So I really, really wanted to do that, but I would need, again, more mohair for that because it would just look a completely different color if I didn't, which may or may not be okay. So I went ahead and ordered it. It actually just showed up the other day. So now I can finish the project. I also know why I got this yarn on clearance now, because the manufacturer, which was the site I went to originally, no longer sells this specific color. But I was able to find another party that had some in their stock. So I was able to get it. I wasn't really able to check like dye lots or anything, but I'm thinking because it's like the background color, it shouldn't really matter anyway. It more just gives it like the purples and the greens, like a brownish tone. So I will be finishing that shortly, and I'm going to be completely winging how to make the pocket in front. So I might take you along for that as well when I get to that, which should be an interesting and fun endeavor. Yeah, and I think that's all I have for you today as far as my web projects go. And I'll probably be back with my sweater or maybe something else. We'll find out. All right, that's it for now. All right, so let's do an update on my WIPs. So I did finish a couple projects while I was away on vacation, so I thought I'd start with that. The first one is I finished another washcloth. Looks really nice. I also finally finished the socks that I was working on. Yeah, I know they look completely different. Not much I can do about that. I feel like in hindsight, I should have just continued because I wasn't sure and I knew they were going to look drastically different. And so instead of just continuing from where this one left off, I started from the middle, and that's why this one's mostly gray. I thought it was going to be fine when I hit this section here and it was starting to turn blue. I thought it would slowly start turning blue, but no, it stayed gray like the entire time with a little bit of blue. It's fine. They're socks. No one's going to really know. So yeah, it'll be okay.
Overall, I'm super excited with how these socks turned out. They are super comfy, they're fun, they have cool decoration. I also don't understand how the one blends into my skin so well. And I hope you also enjoyed this little bit of a temporary tattoo I have on the side of my one foot.
Started another washcloth. So this is the one that I'm currently working on. We'll see how this pattern works out. I'm not too sure about it. In hindsight, I've been thinking about it, and I know when a lot of stitches in one area, it tends to get very weak in those areas. So we're going to do a testing and see how well these last. I think it might be fine though, because after ironing it out, it's not as bubbly in those areas anymore. Like when I first did it, it almost feels like bubble wrap, and like you can pop it almost. So it's bubbly from the stitches, but once you iron it out, it goes quite flat. So it might be okay and not have the problem of having too many stitches in one area. I don't think it really does. I mean, it has a lot of points I made in one spot, but not a lot of stitches in each spot. Except for the X's that has like 2 that cross. But I think it should be fine. We'll see. I'm excited. I think they might end up being gifts for people, so it's been a fun thing to work on. And that was it for the WIPs update. Oh yeah, sorry about the weird. This, believe it or not, this side's actually holding in pretty good. It's this side, it's being held in by a prayer and a shit ton of bobby pins. I woke up and all of it was like exploded out like this. So we're just going with it. My hair's still a little damp, so I want it to stay in the braid so I can get some nice curls to it. So just living with it. It's okay. I'm going to be at home today. All right, so we're back with another WIPs update. I finally finished my sweater. It's looking really, really good. I love the colors. Here, let me try it out for you. So, yeah, it looks super cute. Actually, now looking at it, I don't even know if I want to do that. Man, I do like how this looks. It's a little striping. Alright, so here's the thing. I was going to put a little pouch here, like a sweatpants pouch, sweatshirt pouch, but I don't know if I want to. I kind of really, really like how this looks. So I guess it's good to try things on and see what you like. This is going great. Fits good. I did a split seam. I gotta figure out how to make this a little bit more structural here. But I did a split seam. I made really, really long cuffs, which I was excited about. My neck holes looking good. Nice little details here, and on the back too. Continues, and it goes down the side. Yeah, this fits really good. You know what? I'm not gonna do anything else. We're calling this done. Oh man. Well, that makes it shorter. That's fine though. This is nice. I like this. You don't see the striping as much down the arms, but I like how this matches up here. Yeah, it looks good. Looking good. Alright, we're done. Never mind.
Now let's make some custom labels. I begin by tracing out the design of what I want to say on my custom label on some piece of linen that I just found in my fabric stash. Now I'm using a heat erasable pen, one of the Frixon pens, because as soon as you go over it with an iron, any marks that you make will just disappear. Now I am having a little bit trouble with it showing up for some reason, and I think I changed to a different pen later to help fix this. Next I have my supplies, and now I'm ready to start my stitch work. Here I just decided to do a simple split stitch using all 6 strands because I was too lazy to separate them. But feel free to separate your strands if you want a less bold design. But for me, I had no problem keeping it nice and bold, so I decided to use all 6 strands. And after throwing up, I'm beginning to start stitching. For the dot of my eye, I decided to do a French knot to give it a nice little dotty look. After sewing in my end, I then cut my label out to the shape that I wanted and got it ready to go on my sewing machine to sew up the sides, making sure to leave a gap so I can turn it inside out afterwards. Don't forget to iron. It makes your edges all nice and clean. And next we're going to top stitch all the way around the outside, just see if it's a nice structure.
So the color looks pretty close. It at least matches this one. It's going to be hard because it changes, but I think that's probably the closest I'm going to get. So we're just going to stitch down. Oh, I did not mean to pull this whole thing off. Maybe I can stick it back on. Give up. Let's do 3 strands. In hindsight, I probably should have done my year with not all 6 threads, but I was feeling lazy and I didn't want to have to pull my string apart, so going with it. And I also made the label double-sided mostly so that it would not deteriorate. It seemed like it was a pretty thin fabric on its own that wasn't very strong, so I figured doubling up would probably be good. We're just going to do a whip stitch around the edge. And just like that, my handmade label is done. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like it on the back, but the nice thing about hand sewing is I can make it invisible on this side, and you can't really even see my stitches on this side because I use the green. You can see it a little bit, but because the green matches pretty close to the actual color of the sweater, so it's good. I think it'll be helpful too because the last sweater I made, it's very hard to tell which side's the front and which side's the back, so having the label will help with that. Maybe I should have like tea stained this a little bit, but over time it'll get nice and yellow and other weird colors because that's what happens to things when they get sweaty. So I'm not too worried about it. It'll color and age with time and add to the charm of it. But now I got a nice record. One of the other YouTubers I watched makes like homemade labels like this and puts them in with the date, which is pretty cool. It's nice to see like your progression as you grow as an artist. All right, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this adventure. Let me know if you do. I'd love to hear about what projects you've been working on, because I'm sure you guys have plenty of things that you've been working on at home. It doesn't even have to be a knitting or crocheting or sewing project. It could literally be anything. Let me know what you've been working on. Maybe you've been working on your house, doing something cool there, or maybe you're working on your garden because it's gardening season. Let me know. I would love to hear from all of you. Have a wonderful day. Bye. All right, so on the rest of my schedule today, first of all, when I was working out, I noticed, I don't know, I got really close to my face. Today, we are actually going to be finally tackling the doom room. Dun, dun, dun. The doom room. I can't wait. Actually, I'm kind of dreading it, but shh, don't tell anyone.